One of my favorite ways to go fishing for bass, and like many anglers, is to throw topwater baits. But the difficulty with topwater baits is sometimes bass just won't get that bait in its mouth, or for whatever reason, you just don't get a solid hookup on it. So I need to be ready for plan B, and that's to follow up on that missed topwater opportunity. One of the baits that many anglers like to throw is a topwater frog. Here's the new snag-proof Guntersville frog. And like many anglers here in the Midwest, throwing a frog over matted vegetation and lily pads is a popular technique. But, as many anglers find out, fishing a frog in that vegetation, you don't always get the best hookup, and sometimes the bass misses your bait. So you need to be ready to go in after them. What I like to do is, as soon as I have that hit on a topwater frog, I like to drop my Minn Kota Talon so my boat is in that same position where that strike occurred, so I'm ready to cast back in at that fish. So once I'm in that same spot, I'll throw in a Texas rig punch, a punch rig, either with a, anywhere from a ½ ounce to an 1.5 ounce tungsten laser sharp weight, tied to a 4-rod troll car flipping hook, and on there you can use a variety of soft plastic baits. Here's a 4-inch beaver bait. You can use a 3-inch craw. My general rule of thumb is I like to use a plastic bait that has a low profile, so not something that has a lot of crazy appendages, because what will happen, and the more crazy appendages that you have, that's more likely it'll get caught on that vegetation that's going down into that hole where that strike occurred. Another area where anglers need to follow up on a missed strike is when you're throwing a topwater popper or walk the dog bait or a buzz bait. Both of these are great baits to catch fish when they're schooling on food, but a lot of times, sometimes that fish just won't hit it. If that happens and a fish misses my bait, I like to throw back in there with a 5-inch Wacky Rig Senko. Here's a white one that, especially when those bass are feeding on shad and they miss your popper, throw back out there with the Wacky Rig Senko. As soon as it hits the water, it'll just start slowly going down on the side of that bait. Will just gently move. That bass is going to hit it right away. So, as you prepare for your next fishing outing when you're going to be throwing topwater baits, also have in mind plan B. That's going on the follow-up. Be ready to follow up after that missed strike or that missed opportunity, because more times than not, you'll be able to get that bass in the boat.